Hey up my ducks, welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody is having a great week so far. I can't see the camera now set down, but I'll bring it closer down anyway when it comes to doing the deck walkthrough. So I wanted to talk about this deck that arrived today. I actually ordered it probably about a month ago, and it's taken all this time. In fact, last week, beginning of last week, just before I went away to Glastonbury, I checked the tracking because I was thinking, yeah, it's been about 3 weeks and it doesn't normally take that long from Europe to get to the UK, and it said it was in transit. So I just thought, right, it'll probably come while I'm away. Anyway, it didn't, and it's arrived today. It's commonly called the Vintage Tarot, although online it does have lots of different titles, which is probably a giveaway. And I think various people that I've seen receive this, it's coming perhaps different. I think Robin at Toadstool Tarot, his is just in a plain black box from memory. I'm not sure about Ben, but Robin and Ben did a live together and they talked about this deck. Now, I'd seen it originally on Robin's channel, Toadstool Tarot, and I really liked it. And I was like, wow, this is a really nice vintage type deck. And I thought I might actually get that. It's not very often I buy tarot decks now, unless they really speak to me. But usually I'll put it onto a wish list and mull it over a bit, so I'm more considered when it comes to buying decks. And then a week or two later, as I said, Robin and Ben did a live together and they talked about this deck because Ben had got it as well. And it was during that live that I decided to purchase it. Okay, so that's the history. Mine comes in this black box. It's a magnetic closure box, and it says Shimolte. I think that's how you pronounce that, Shimolte. So I'm assuming that's the company, and it comes with a drawstring bag that also says, with the same logo, and also says Shimolte. And it's just a bog standard drawstring bag. It does have a excuse me, I actually put the kettle on to make a cup of tea and I've forgotten. It does have, let's take everything out, a little tarot guide book, so very much an LWB, a little white book. It has introduction and the composition of a tarot deck, and then it just gives you, like little white books do, just a few keywords for upright and reversed, okay? You also get this thank you for your order and a QR code to access a free tarot card cleansing guide. And you'll see here the company is shimolte.com. Now, I love the backs. Can we just appreciate these backs? It's a vintage tarot, and this reminds me of an old sort of Victorian wallpaper. Did they have wallpaper in Victorian days? Maybe 1930s or something then, perhaps, if not Victorian, but it is vintagey. I love the design. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful tarot deck. It is a nice thick deck. The cardstock is lovely. It is matte finish and it's really, really nice. However, after I placed the order, about a week later, I got an email from Robin saying, Simon, I know you've ordered this. I feel really bad. I'm not going to mention names of who said what and blah, blah, blah. But he said, I've been made aware that this potentially is an AI generated deck, which my initial response was, I don't think so. What's the proof of that? Blah, 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 blah. Because the reason why I took that sort of initial response is because I thought I knew AI decks, and I thought I could spot an AI deck at 1,000 feet. Because, and I'm just showing one, this is an AI deck that was sent to me. It was sent to me without me asking for it, which happens sometimes with some companies where I do reviews. Usually I like to say, can I, say yes or no first. And when I realized it was an AI generated deck, I said, I'm not going to show it. Is that okay? I offered to send it back, and I was like, no, just keep it. It's fine. And we understand your position, which was lovely. But for me, AI decks always kind of had this fantasy art type vibe. These remind me of posters that would be very popular in like the 80s. This kind of fantasy art. I mean, it's beautiful, but yeah. And every AI deck that I've seen since that has these kind of computer generated, well, it's the system that AI uses, I suppose. But they all had a sort of that fantasy art, as I said, and it was recognisable as an AI deck. This deck, I can't believe it's an AI deck. I'm still not convinced. Maybe I should get in touch with Shimmelte and just say, look, was this deck created by AI? Just for my own peace of mind. But you tell me what you think. So I'm going to bring the camera down and we'll have a look. And I had to put them all in order because they just weren't. They were just randomly in. They weren't sealed either. And they were just placed in the box. I was thinking, oh, I hope all the cards are there. But I've done a check and all the cards are there. Okay, just adjust the light a little bit. So, as I said, gorgeous backs. Really, really do like these backs. I really like the cardstock. It's not a thick, even though it looks like quite a thick, chunky deck here. There's enough bend and flexibility in these cards, but it's that lovely, soft matte. And it's referred to as the Vintage Tarot. I'm going to call it the Vintage Tarot just because it's the first title, because it will say Vintage Tarot, Vintage Cards, Vintage Tarot Deck, different titles for it. I got it off Etsy. And if you search Vintage Tarot on Etsy, it comes up. And it wasn't cheap. And I don't know why I'm saying that, like I'm surprised, because we're not talking of a knockoff deck here. This isn't what that is. There are people that say it's an AI deck, and in every likelihood it is. And so why would they be cheap? I don't know. I just think I always assume that they would be because it's not actually the creator's artwork. And I do have quite strong views, and I know there's been lots of chat in the community about arguments for and against AI. I take a very firm stance, because I do think, it generates the art, whatever keywords you're putting in, it generates the art from a bank of different art that's already out there, and those artists aren't A, credited, and B, they don't receive any funds for that. So it feels a little bit icky for me. That's just my position. I can't see it changing. And I know other people have different points of view. But anyway, I mean, I look at this and it really does look like it's beautifully illustrated, hand-drawn. So I just would never have thought that this would be an AI generated deck, but there you go. There are people that are saying that it is, and I have no reason to doubt them. Each of the majors, they don't have a number, they just have a title, whereas, you get the numbers with the minors, obviously. So the nice thing about this is, Justice won't have 11 on it or 8, in the same with the Strength card. But yeah, this kind of reminds me of something like out of a Tintin illustrated novel or book, but I like the colours, I like the sketchiness of it, and I just think it's, well, obviously, it's a deck that I really wanted to get because I ordered it, which I don't do very often these days. I'm still umming and ahhing about Tarot Volatile because it's one of them that I keep watching walkthroughs of, which is always a sign that I think I really want it. But it's quite expensive to get it here because I know I want the expansion pack and the book. But watch this space, maybe after Christmas, or maybe a Christmas present to myself, we'll see. But yeah, it just doesn't fit the mold that I had of what an AI deck would look like. I think the illustrations are beautiful. There's no sort of because also I noticed with a couple, I've got 2 AI decks, both sent to me. I popped a deck in the post and then I found out later it was AI and I've not shown them. But there'll be little anomalies in AI decks, like a leg missing or something where the program hasn't finished it off properly. And I haven't seen from the walkthroughs any kind of anomalies like that, but love this strength card. It's a little diddy lion, but beautiful. I love the clothing. I love the kind of the line work and the detail as well. Here's the Hermit, a fantastic Hermit card. A Wheel of Fortune. And I guess the issue is, I thought, well, if I can recognise an AI deck, I can avoid getting an AI deck. But it's obviously moving on at a pace. And if I look at a deck like this that I think has been hand-drawn and painted, and I've bought it, then it's going to be harder. It's going to be harder to spot AI decks. And if you do have the stance that I have, that is going to be problematic. Love this death card. It's like pleading for mercy. This devil card, I think it was this card that we got up to on Robin and Ben's live, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to order this. And these little imp-like creatures here. But yeah, I love this. The Tower. Will it stop me from using it? Because the other AI decks, one is an Oracle, and I do and have pulled cards from it. But I don't use Oracle as much as I use Tarot. The other one that I've just showed you, I've never used. I just don't particularly like that, as I say, fantasy, realism. It's just not my, look at this Judgment card on the roof of this kind of church building. It's like an ascension coming down from heaven, and these people are greeting them. The world is beautiful. It's such a gorgeous deck. I want to use it. I've invested money into it. Yes, I feel that if it is an AI deck, I've been duped, because nowhere does it say, you know, this is an AI generated art deck. Love the Two of Cups. And I really do think that, and I think this is what this is what I've heard, that Kickstarter are going to allow AI decks as long as they stipulate that it's an AI deck. Whether that's true or not, and you can let me know in the comments, but a friend of mine told me that just last week, that that's what's happening. And I think, you know, if there is a way, I don't think we're going to stop this, you know. It's the world we live in now, which I get worried about because of our creators. But if we, if we are going to have a world where things are generated by AI, I think it should be made very clear. Would it have stopped me buying it? Yes, it would. Because I had that sinking feeling when Robin said, we believe this is now an AI deck. My heart sunk, and I just thought, no, it can't be. Say, is his arm missing? That would have been a telltale sign, but I think it's actually tucked behind him. But had it advertised this is an AI deck, I wouldn't have bought it just because of my stance. However, not knowing and seeing how beautiful, because I mean it's very consistent in its colours, in its tones. It's just beautiful. I love it. I love everything about it. And I want to use it. I really want to use it. I've paid for it and I want to use it, but it will be for personal use, because if this is an AI deck, then this will be the only time it's shown on my channel, just because, but I wanted to share it. I wanted to share it with you guys, just so you can kind of know about this, because this deck I think is gaining popularity, particularly because I'm the third YouTuber that's got it that I know of. There could be more, and I just think, to be informed means that, we make that conscious kind of decision of whether we're going to buy it or not. And as I said, for me, it would have been not, which would have been sad because it's a beautiful deck. But because I found out a week or so after paying for it and ordering it, and it was on its way, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, I love it though. I'm really hoping, what I'm hoping for is somebody comes forward and says, no, this isn't an AI generated deck. That Shimmeltel actually used an artist, although I can't see an artist credited anywhere, which is, I suppose, something else to take into account. But that's my hope. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Look at that, Three of Pentacles. I just think it's, how can an artificial, how can AI create something like this? It's mind-blowing. Really is mind-blowing. I mean, this character here, this guy, where's he come from? This is generated by artificial intelligence. Is his profile from somewhere else? Is he from an old painting somewhere that's been scanned in and that part has been added? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't really want to know. I mean, look. And as I said, the quality is fantastic. Anyway, that's the vintage tarot. Potentially an AI deck, particularly according to some in the community. It's definitely an AI deck. I don't know. And I'll let you judge it as well, and let me have your thoughts. But I want to like it. Well, I do like it. I want to use it and I want to feel comfortable using it. But anyway, there you have it. Is this really an AI deck? If so, what are the telltale signs? Because I can't spot any. What is it in the images that people are saying, it's AI generated? I want to know. I want to hear the arguments for and against. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.